Looking forward to having this conversation with you guys today. We're going to be talking about a company by the name of Build Network, and Build is a new company, but we partner with people who've been around for decades, and so you'll see that this business model does more than just make sense. It can put you in a position where, if it's for you, you never have to worry about money again as long as you live, based on what you're about to see. And so, a little bit about me before we jump into Build. For those of you who don't know me. Uh, I'm ex-military veteran, Desert Storm time, and came home from Desert Storm and went into real estate. And then I think it was around about 96. And from 96 to 2008, did real estate, which is where I made my first seven figures. And while I was in real estate, I also launched a coffee corporation that went global, international actually, and did business in about 35 countries. Okay. My wife and I made multiple millions in that. And then on the back end of that career, for about 3 years, we did some investing. Okay. And I made another seven figures in investing. And so I'm saying that, guys, not to impress you, but to impress upon you that what I'm about to share with you guys is so impressive that I actually came out of retirement, earlier this year to do this business. Okay. And I retired 3 years ago. It'll be 3 years ago next week, actually. And it was so impactful to me. It made such a really big impact on me that I had to come out and I wanted to share this with everybody. Okay. And so when you look at build, guys, build your mindset, build your business, and you build your career, and build your network, right? And so go ahead and dive into these slides and kind of get through this conversation with you, because I want to make sure I get to the meat and potatoes right away. One of the first things I want to tell you is that this is a high ticket brokerage. This is not a network marketing company. And, this is something that when I say people are, excited about, when we talk about high ticket, I'm not talking about the stuff you see on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, those two and three and $400 courses that people are marking up 5, 10, $15,000. I'm actually talking about a high ticket arena where the millionaires and the billionaires are playing. And these are industries that these companies and these verticals that you're about to see us do today and talk about today. These are verticals that people who understand money and know money, they're focusing on these industries. Okay. And so as you follow with me, you'll get exactly what I'm talking about. But as an entrepreneur, you always want to ask yourself, why build a business? And specific businesses I'll get into later on, but business in general is because the way things are evolving, the way things are changing, you'll see that a lot of people out there are relying more and more on jobs when jobs are less and less stable, right? You're getting phased out by AI. You're getting phased out by technology. You're also getting priced out by outsourced work that's being done overseas now. And the thing I have to tell you is that you have to take responsibility for the economy under your roof, right? It's not the job and the responsibility of the person who employs you to do that. It's not the job and the responsibility of the president to do that. It's your job, right? And the company that you work for, you're not their priority. They may like you right now, but they're building that company for their future and for the heirs that they have right now for the next 2 and 3 generations. Okay. You're not a part of that plan. Okay. And so they're paying you now based on what they feel like that position is worth. Right. And that's going to be for the life of that position. And so I want to make sure you keep that premise and that understanding as we move forward, because we're going to talk about business. Okay. Going forward. Now, when it comes to everything that's going on out there in society, a lot of people are experiencing everything that you see here on this screen, that and even more. If you turn on CNN news, constantly negative news, you'll see that people are in crisis financially, all over the place and all over the world. Okay. But the one thing that you won't see, people going through these are people who are entrepreneurs, who are successful entrepreneurs and successful investors. Okay. And so these guys are prepared. These guys are fortified. These guys are inoculated from situations like these. And they rely on themselves, their own entrepreneurial prowess, and the resources that they're bringing to the table. They make sure that they invested wisely. Okay. Now, when you look at the companies that have done extremely well, the companies that have done extremely well today are companies that have done extremely well, providing opportunities for others as well as entertainment, for others as well. Companies like Uber, Airbnb, Shopify, Etsy, Amazon, to name a few, you can make some really good extra money and really decent extra money with these companies. Now, a very small percentage, of people who are in Amazon and may use Airbnb arbitrage and some of these things where they can use their special skill sets. They can go out there and make a lot more money than the norm. But to the masses, it's just a band-aid. To the masses, it's just something to kind of stop the bleeding and get you from this job to the next job. This lull in business to when business picks up again. It's nothing permanent about what you're seeing here happening with people when it comes to them, this being the end all be all. Okay. And so when it comes to the gig economy, guys, we have the ultimate gig. Okay. And I'll talk to you about that when we get to the money. But when it comes to business, you want to make sure that you qualify a company, right? And you want to make sure that, every company you look at and every opportunity you look at checks these boxes. Okay. The problem with most people is they get hyped into these companies, they get into companies because of their friends, their families, they know people, or
You're muted, sir.
Angel, how long have I been muted?
It was one slide, like a couple of seconds.
Okay,
Just
good.
one
All
second.
right.
Yes.
I don't know how that happened. Okay, great. I appreciate that. But when you're looking at, businesses and industries, guys, you want to make sure you're looking at businesses and industries that check these boxes. Okay. You don't want to be the person who's joining a company or building a business or investing in something based on your brother, your cousin, your sister, your auntie saying, hey, trust me, this is going to work, or trust me, we're going to make a lot of money on this. We're looking at things that millionaires and billionaires look at. Like, is it an industry with big target market and low market penetration? Is that a box that you can check? Here, yes. Is it an industry that has, or a company that has essential goods, services, gas, electric, and water, something that people cannot do without? And you're going to check that box. And for this company, it's going to say yes. Right. And the last box you want to make sure you check is that it's industries that will thrive in good and bad economy. Right. Remember, I told you we launched a coffee corporation that spanned 35 countries. And, regardless of how good or how bad the industry was, people always drank my product. That's why I always had residual reoccurring income. I always had stability and security. Right. And so, again, I'm coming from a place of experience, not from a place of hype. Okay. I want to make sure you guys get that part. Now, some of the industries, that we participate in are major industries. And what you'll find is that they're unique and they're at the top of the food chain in those industries. Okay. We're not a one-trick pony where we're just letting it all ride on one thing. Guys, no, we plan on having a multi-sided platform that offers a lot of different home essentials, right? That we can tie in and they all complement each other. Something that a homeowner would love to have, right? And so we'll start off with the solar industry. We offer residential and commercial solar, right? And when you look at Freedom Forever, we'll talk about that, how big they are. They're an amazing company. But guys, based on just an income perspective, we're looking at a person who's looking for a part-time gig, some extra money. Guys, if you're looking for a part-time gig, some extra money, and you're in solar, one deal, right, that may take you 15 minutes to set up can yield you anywhere from $6,000 to $10,000 on that deal. Okay. And so that's huge. And then even on the back end, guys, on the commercial side, our commercial deals, which are larger deals, they actually pay out 35% of the actual commission. So a lot of money, right? And I'll get more into both the solar, commercial, and residential in a moment. The next one, you see Rain H2O, guys, that's a clue. It's the water industry. As a matter of fact, to be specific, the alkaline water industry. Okay. And when I look at water, it's something that obviously we all need. And it's something that is important to us all. And for me, I've been drinking water since I was a kid. And part of the reason why is because my mom didn't drink water. My mom passed away based on, dehydration, right? And that's a whole entirely different story for another day. But I understand how important water is just from that scenario alone. Now, the thing that you can take solace in when it comes to our company and you can get excited about is that when it comes to the alkaline industry and the water filtration industry, that's a $7.5 billion industry, right? And that was in 2023. In 2024 is a $8.5 billion industry, right? And so we're in the right industry. Guess what? The company that would actually be our competition out there, the biggest, the baddest of them all, as they sell their machines for twice as much of money that we do, and the machines that they sell are not as good as ours, right? And plus, they only pay $180 to $200 per sale. Our company pays us anywhere from $1,000 to $2,100 per sale. And so again, one water filtration system a month, an extra $1,000, $2,100 per month, right? And so when it looks at ADT and Brink's home security, again, people are needing security, and the more and more times get tough, the more and more security you're going to need. And the one thing I do understand that since security has been around for well over 100 years, just like security has evolved, so have the criminals, right? And one thing I get extremely excited about, and something that we have a ton of pre-sales on, is our Ripple military grade portable security systems for homes and business. We're launching that, guys, in January, and because that's the best time to launch a brand new product or service, but the pre-sales are through the roof because people want it. Imagine having a military grade security system that the military did use. We have the patent on it. We're the only ones out there that have it. And it's not anything that has to be hardwired to your house, windows, or doors. As you just plug it in, set it up for monitoring. And then what happens is if any doors or windows open in the house, the pressure of the house changes and all of the alarm goes off, and the burglars cannot disarm it like they can disarm traditional security systems. Okay. So if you're going from home and you're working late in the office, take it to the office, plug it in, and you're good. If you're going on vacation, take it to the Airbnb, right? Plug it in, you're good. If you have a college student and she's in her dormitory room, have her take it to her dormitory room. And guess what? That door open, she's good, right? And so I'm excited about that. But just for the Brinks and ADT alone, as people making $500 to $700 per sale on Brinks and ADT. Okay. And so Smart Money Club, this is just, again, one of the benefits where you have a lot of people who are going to make a ton of money. And we don't want you to be one of those individuals that says, I used to have this car, that house, this life, right? And because I don't have it anymore, I don't have that wife, right? I want to make sure you guys understand money because there are a lot of people out there that don't know how to sustain what they earn, scale what they earn, right? Diversify what they earn and what they're investing in, and create legacy wealth. So our Smart Money Club is not just going to help you with that, but it's going to also help you create residual income. And I'll explain that in a moment. But now, since we have our all of the verticals that we're participating in, I want to make sure I now let's go ahead and start focusing a little bit on the main one. This is the flagship service, guys. Solar. It's not our, we're not a solar company, but it's the one that we are wanting to talk about first because this is the one that's going to give us the biggest impact. Okay. Impact is key. So when you look at the market penetration, and you see the numbers right there, 90 million homes are eligible for solar, but only 5 million have gone solar, guys. We're talking about 85 million homes that are eligible, that don't have a solar system on it. That's one thing from a residential perspective. Imagine getting commissions, of 20, $30,000 on commercial deals, right? You don't even see the commercial opportunity out there, right? And so that's huge. But understanding where solar is going will kind of give you a big picture on why we started with solar. And when you look at California, since 2020, they passed a law that you can't even build a home in California unless it has solar on it. By 2035, you won't be able to buy not just a car that runs on gas, it'll be an EV, electrical vehicle, but your lawnmowers won't be able to run on gas. You won't be able to purchase, a lawnmower. You won't be able to purchase a food truck. My cousin has a food truck in California that he's converting to solar because they won't be allowed at some point in time. As anything and everything that runs on gas in the state of California at some point in time will be phased out, right? And then when you look at the rest of the U.S., a lot of other people in the U.S. are adopting this way of thinking right now as well. And when you look at the government is pushing solar. They're pushing our service, right? So there's no bigger endorsement than the U.S. government saying, "Hey, we will give you guys tax credits. We will give you guys incentives. In some states, we'll even pay you to go solar. In some states, we'll even buy your solar back, right? This is how powerful what we have our hands on is. Guys, again, the writing is on the wall, and it's not about what you understand. It's about what's happening right now and how early in the game we are. And we're in the game with the biggest, and most potent, companies when it comes talk about installers in the industry. Okay, and so you want to make sure you do whatever research you need to on solar, but know this: people are going to make millions of dollars with or without you, right? So when it comes to your consumers, the end user, the person who is the most important person in this transaction, right? What do we do for them and how does it benefit them? Well, you save up to 50% on energy costs, right? And so normally it's about between 30 to 40% savings, but you can save up to 50. I just went solar. My solar was like 600, went from $605 a month to $428 a month. Okay. They didn't knock off half, but I'm extremely happy with what they knocked off, right? 0% down with various financing options. My financing rate was at 3.9%, right? And not because I had amazing credit. I had a qualifying credit, 3.9% and 0% down, right? Blackout protection using specific batteries. Guys, this continues to be a sticking point for me because I live here in Houston, right? And a couple of months ago, we had a hurricane. It's very, very important that most people understand the ramifications of that hurricane. We were on we were without as a state, from CenterPoint Energy, without energy for 2 to 12 days, depending on your house and your location. 2 to 12 days. And it wasn't because the energy company could not get us back online. It's because they wanted to hold us hostage. And right now, there's actually a lawsuit against CenterPoint by the government, right? Based on how they behaved and how they acted in that situation. People lost lives in that situation. We had 3 million houses without energy. Guys, guess what? Right now, based on the hurricane that's happening in Florida, guys, there are 4 million plus houses right now that do not have energy. Right. And so this is huge. So when a person buys a actual solar system and they have a battery, they won't be subjected to no energy. The people who lost their lives, who had life-saving devices that could not be powered, passed away. Unacceptable. Okay. And so again, it's a sticking point for me, and I will never be without power again based on us having solar installed in our house 3 weeks ago. Okay. Tax credit, I mentioned it earlier. The government's giving you guys 30%, tax break to go solar. And you can take that and use it toward, your current business if you want to, when it comes to offsetting the taxes that you owe. Or if you don't owe any taxes and you can't use it for that, the lending facility, they can use it, and they'll drop your monthly note down even lower based on the fact that they are now using that tax credit. Immediate increase in home value, 4 to 5% increase of home value per Zillow, right? And then also when it comes to the homes, guys, your home is more attractive when it comes to people who are buying homes now, because people, one, they would love to inherit a house that doesn't have a bill on it, or even if, say, you got solar and you have to sell your house because you got to relocate to a different region of the U.S., right? And you still have a solar bill. Well, remember, your solar bill may be at $300 a month because it came down and it got locked. Your neighbors are paying five, six, seven, $800 a month for solar at this point in time, and their bill is going to keep on going up. So a person is not going to buy. They don't want to buy a house, right, that may be comparable with a bill that's still there and is going to continue to go up. They'll rather take the $300 per month bill that may be going away in a couple of years. Okay, so that your house will sell, 10 to 20 times faster than a normal home just because you have solar on it. And then clean energy, obviously, go research what it takes for them to produce energy, and you'll see what it's doing to us. But even when you have a blackout and you use generators, guys, it really does have an effect on your family because the fumes come into the house. I know that because that's what I was doing before we actually got solar. Now, and you also have people who are on the guys that, you know what, I'll actually go and get a Generac system. Well, this is the thing, guys. You can only use a Generac system when things go wrong, when lights go out, right? And that's not every day, right? So you're going to pay $20,000 for a Generac system, and you'll still have a light bill. Light bill is never going to go away. It's going to continue to go up, right? Doesn't make any sense financially and economically. And so this is when you actually take advice from people who made a decision and they made it sound good to you, but they're not experts. Okay. So the exact opposite, you go out there and you get solar and you get a battery, you never need a Generac and your bill goes away. Okay. So as you see on the bottom line, as I change the slide, guys, in 2022, someone went solar every 44 seconds. Last year, someone went solar every 35 seconds. By the time, guys, that I actually finish this conversation with you, 78 people will have went solar. Okay. That's where we're at right now with it. Okay. So now when you look at the partnership again, I appreciate who we have as Freedom Forever. They're our own in-house, installer. Okay? And so the installation companies is normally where you have the biggest problems, especially when you're using third-party installment companies, right? And so when you have a company that's been around like Freedom Forever, they've been around since 2011. So you don't have to worry about, some of the common problems of them installing your system and then they're being out of business tomorrow. Guys, we're in 35 states, and in the next 6 months, we'll be in 44. We've done over 160,000 installs. Okay. And if you look at the guarantees on the side, you won't see those guarantees anywhere else. Right. Here in our company, we don't just give you a 25-year guarantee on the materials that we use on your house, like the panels and stuff like that. We also give you a 25-year production guarantee on power, the return loss of savings, guaranteed production, and everything in between. We put our money where our service is. Okay? And so one other thing that I love about Freedom is that they have so much power when it comes to buying wholesale that their prices are extremely low. So they have a lot of money that's left over, and it goes to two places. It goes to the end user, the consumer, the person who's buying the systems, and the person who's actually selling it. Okay. So what do you see here? It's just a whole lot of roofs with no solar, which means there's a lot of money to be made. Again, it just lends credibility to, again, the 90% to 95% of the industry or the available homes that need solar. It's just opportunity. Okay. And so here are a couple of examples when it comes to people who went solar, with our company. So a Century 21 agent, introduced someone, to our solar program at Encore Solar. The individual was paying 287 a month on average. Some months 250, some months 200, some months 400, some months 5, but 287 on average. Okay, and then when you look at what happens when they went solar, they sat down with one of our experts. They went over how the panels were going to look on the house via AI. They went over the financing options. They answered all their questions. The person decided that, I want to go ahead and move forward. They gave them a bill that's locked in at $148 a month. That's their lifetime bill, never going to go up. Now, when I say lifetime, it's going to for the lifetime of the loan. Okay, and the person can even pay it off early. So when you look at that quote on the bottom, it says a solar sales presentation is not a presentation, it's an IQ test. Guys, it just makes sense, right? For you to take a smaller bill, right? When you look at people who are buying houses right now, people are making business decisions. How many of you guys, just put a one in the chat, guys, if you know someone who said, I refuse to rent a house when I can go buy one. I refuse to throw that money away in renting a home when I can go and buy one and have that house, own that house, and give it to my kids or something, right? Well, it's the same exact thing with electricity. Why would you rent in electricity when you can actually own it? It doesn't make any sense. So, for the person who's out there, again, introducing solar to people, and the person who's designing the system and doing the presentation, that's the mentor and the mentee. The mentor is the one that closed the deal. The mentee is the person who brought the deal to the table, right? Together they made $6,400, but each made $3,200 in this sale. That Century 21 agent is extremely excited about, the fact that they could go back to one of their clients and say, "Hey, I am now in solar. You should go solar," and they did. Okay. Same thing happened here. This is a EXP Realty agent sold this deal. They brought the deal to the table. Average customer monthly was $410 a month, $290 a month after they went solar with us, right? And the commission on this deal was $8,200. Now, the mentor made $4,100, and the person who brought the deal to the table made $4,100. Now, guys, what if you are the EXP Realty agent, and then you can do both sides of the deal? Now you get the whole entire 8,200, and now they can. And I'll show you what they did to qualify to do that. Okay. So energy costs, again, this is just basic economics, right? Where we're at today in 2024, if you go back to 2014, 10 years ago, your bill was a lot lower, right? And guess what? In the 2034, it's going to be a lot higher, period. Inflation is going to take place. Now, the other thing about this is that it's not just inflation that's driving your bill up, it's the cost to maintain and service the old dirty grid, right? And so the grid that's been around for over 160 years is in constant, need for repair and upgrades. And so you're responsible for that. They're not paying for that. Big Energy is not paying for that. These CenterPoint is not paying for that. If you look at your bill, you'll be amazed at how much you're actually paying for energy and how much you're paying for what they need you to pay for them. Okay. And this other thing, keep this in mind. The longer you fight energy, there are a couple of things that are going to happen against you. Okay. Right now, the government is saying, "Hey, we just brought back the 30% tax credit to incentivize you to go solar, right? At some point in time, that's going to go away. In 8 years, it's going to go away. All of the low interest rates and finance rates that you're getting right now, at some point in time, when they have enough people that create the social proof for them, and now they have what we call natural, participation and people going solar on their own, the interest rates are going to go up. The people who take, like I say, first movers advantage and take advantage of that, and they go ahead and move first while everything is in their favor, they're the most happy and they're the most beneficial. Okay. And so make sure that you're not stuck paying the bulk of the bill for the energy companies to keep their grids going and for them to stay in business while everybody else is going solar. Because remember, the more people go solar, the less people that are out there paying electric bills. You don't want to be one of them. So energy deregulation, guys, will be the largest transfer of wealth in history, says Warren Buffett, person I have a tremendous amount of respect for. And he also said that, when it comes to, money, put your money where your mouth is, right? He put $10 billion in clean energy. Okay. And so he put that type of money in investing in solar clean energy because he understands what the future is. And so even if you're not smart economically, right? Your economic IQ is not up there. It's down here. The wisest people in the world are the ones who take advice from people who they would trade places with. And so Warren Buffett, financially, economically, I would definitely trade places with him. That's why I take his advice. Okay. And so this part is easy. This is the money, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, but we get paid 7 ways. And just for the sake of time, like I said, we're going to go through it and breeze through it. But this one slide here, definitely want you to pay good close attention to it because, like I said, when a person who's looking at a part-time job versus having a part-time brokerage here with us, guys, you're looking at extra 30 hours a week on your part-time job, making $2,000 to $3,000 a month, right? So you're pretty much working about 70 hours a week to make about $50,000 to $60,000 a year. It's not smart if you have options. you got to do what you got to do. But when you have a person, guys, who can make like I just showed you, $4,100 on a deal or $3,200 on a deal, and that deal, you can do a deal like that once a month, guys. That's 50 grand a year, 6 figures a year, part time, without having a job, and guess what? Without recruiting. Okay. That's very, very important. So keep that in mind, while you're paying attention, to this conversation. And also, just for the sake of conversation, I like round numbers, and I'll use a small, believable number a lot because, I want you guys to be able to see it, on a granular level. But the company is extremely, extremely generous, and they give out 70% of the commissions on a deal to the people who brought the deal to the table and closed it. Other companies, they're like 30 to 40%. Okay. And when you look at this example, I'll use this example, like I said, a $10,000 install, commission wise, for the whole entire presentation. So that being said, $7,000 will be the commission on this deal, 3,500 to the person who brought it to the table, and $3,500 to the person who serviced it. Okay. So when you actually have the mentor, we're talking about the person who serviced it. We talk about the engineer on the back, the person, the expert on the back who, again, put the AI together and show a person what it's going to look like on their screen, on their roof rather. They did the financing options and showed them, what's best for them, whether it be cash, whether it be PPA, whether it be leasing, whether it be loan, right? Answered all their questions, and they did like a little 5 minute flip chart presentation for them to make sure that they're familiar with what's going on. Guys, you're watching this as they're doing this for your client. Remember, you only did three things. You piqued the person's interest, right? Basically talked about solar and gave them some of the benefits. Two, when they ask you questions, say, look, we got an expert for that. You got their bill. And three, what you did was you made the appointment. Okay. And so once you did that, that's your part. You didn't do any selling, no explaining, no presentations. That's being done by the mentor. And you get to sit down and watch that happen. Now, the mentorship, again, this is another way for you to get paid on your own efforts without recruiting. And we have mentors in the company that have made 6 figures in a month. As a matter of fact, back in April, we have a gentleman out of Atlanta who did 28 deals. All these deals were sent to him by people in the company, and he made over 6 figures. Okay. And so that's why this is one of the most desirable positions in the company. And we make it easier for you to get to mentor here than any other company out there. Most other companies, it's about, bureaucracy, it's about red tape, it's about them keeping you in a non-mentor position because they want you to continue to bring them deals. Here, all you have to do, guys, is bring 3 deals to the table, work them with the mentor, and close 5 deals on your own where you get 100% of the money, you share nothing. Complete a company certification in-house, right? Watch a couple of videos, answer a couple of multiple choice questions to make sure that you're educated. And now we put your name in lights. People click on the drop-down box when they're looking for a mentor, and they can choose your name based on city, state, languages you speak, or reputation. Okay. Very, very important. Another thing is even if you don't want to become a mentor, you do the first 3 deals with a mentor, notify your senior partner, they'll alert the company. And now at that point in time, you can do both sides of the deal. You can bring a deal to the table and you can close the deal yourself, right? Even if you're not doing, right, a situational mentorship type deal. Now, here's a mentor example for you. So say a person who's a mentor is helping 4 people become a mentor. They all have to bring 3 deals to the table. That's 12 deals at $3,500 each. Again, just an example. But that's $42,000 in a month. And 12 months of doing that, guys, that's $500,000 a year part-time. And just to kind of, lend some clarity to this, remember I said I like to underpromise and overdeliver. That $3,500 commission, again, that's on the bottom end. We have people like Sarah George out of Maryland, just graduated college, and she just got paid on her biggest deal was $14,000 plus in pocket, right? Not that was her half, right? And so that's huge. Okay, so Zig Ziglar, you will get all you want in life if you help enough people get what they want in life. I love that quote so much. I catered it to me. And I said, if you put everybody else's family first, your family will never, ever be last. You'll never want for anything because with service comes, everything, literally. Let's see here. So now serving the masses, guys, you want to go out there and say, I want to go out there and build a sales force. So remember, we talked about the people who don't want to recruit at all, people who just want to sell. They just want a part-time sales career or a full-time sales career, and they want to make money on their own merit. I've had that conversation. Now, this is for the people who want to build a sales force. This is for the people who understand the power of leverage and overrides, right? And so it doesn't matter whether you're a realtor, a broker, and you have a lot of agents. It doesn't matter if you have a corporate America background and you are in charge of a lot of salespeople. It doesn't matter if you have a roofing company and you got salespeople out there in the field doing it for you. Guys, if you are, a person that brings a sales pro into this company and they start selling, you automatically get 20% override on everything that they sell. Now, let me share with you. Remember, that was a 70% in that example was 7,000 of the $10,000 commission. Well, that was a $3,000 left over. That's for the owners of the company, well, the company itself, and the leaders of the company, people who build sales forces. So in that example, that 30% left over, 3,000 that was left over. Let's say here, Kathy. I see Kathy online here. Let's say Kathy brings me on, right? And I do one deal. That one deal is going to give Kathy $600 because 20% of 3,000 is 600. Let's say I do 5 deals. Okay, that's going to be 3,000 for Kathy. Let's say Kathy brings on Brenda, okay, out of Denver. Brenda does 5 deals. That's 10 deals. You see right there where it says 10 team installs in 60 day, guys. That puts you at manager. So let's say at this point in time, Kathy is now a manager. We just did 10 deals. 10 deals times $900 is $9,000 that Kathy just made, and she didn't do a deal. See, this is where the rich people understand leverage. This is where they get their security from. And this is why they don't have problems like all the things that I showed you on the second slide. All that doom and gloom stuff, that's for employees and bad business people. Okay. So at a manager, she's making $9,000. Let's say she goes director, and now on all of her directs, Kathy's getting 35%. But guess what? Some people like Brenda, some people like Angel, they're going to go out there and they're going to recruit some people as well. They're going to bring on some people who want to sell solar as well. Guess what? Kathy's now going to make 15% on the director down into infinity, right? Executive director, Kathy makes 40% on the directs, 20% down into infinity. And then national director, 45% and 25%. The last two, executive director and national director, guys, this is kind of where you become somewhat of a partner here. You now start to get the profit sharing. You now start to share into the company-wide pools. And basically, it just means that you're getting paid on every install that happens in the company, regardless whose sales force that they're on. Okay. Another example of how the money is being made, but real quick here in this example, guys, you put yourself in a position where you're looking at $13,000 a month. If just 10 deals were done in your group by those people and you do one, that's literally 13 grand in this example here. Normally it will be more because, again, that's low end commissions, but that's still $150,000 a year on a part-time basis when an average person is making average household is bringing about 50 grand in per month. I'm sorry, 50 grand in per year. Double it up, you're looking at 20 grand a month, $250,000 per year. So as we wind this thing down here, guys, this is where I need you to put your business cap on. This is where I need you to understand what you really have your hands on. And this is where a lot of people with small thinking, this is where they lose it. Okay. And so when you look at traditional businesses, right? And I told you you were losing ground and you were losing opportunities to AI. You were losing opportunities to technology, right? And this is where I want you to understand that people out there are because of how big solar is, they're opening up brick and mortar solar companies. And people who are like me, who are not in the solar industry, I'm opening up a click and order solar company. Okay. And so it's a big difference. One is paying $100 to $250,000 to open up a company that has all these things that you see here on this screen. Okay. And the other, myself, and the person that invited you to this call today, they pay $200, right? to have the same exact things. So again, when you look at who's smarter and who's wiser, who's making better business decisions, it's people like us because we already know that 95% of companies, traditional businesses, they're going to go out of business based on lack of leadership. Okay. And it's already happening. You see some of the smaller companies who didn't think the thing all the way out, they're already going out of business. Right. When you look at the big companies like Freedom Forever, right, they're not going out of business. Matter of fact, we're bringing on a lot of those sales companies. As a matter of fact, just this week alone, I help people recruit small companies that are only in one state, two states, three states, or four, right? Because they want to be in 35 states and they want to use our resources to keep funding their ongoing company. So they need our click and order business to keep the doors open on their brick and mortar business. Okay. And so just want to make sure you guys don't get lost in the sauce, right? So at the end of the day, as we wrap this thing up, we have another 2 minutes because, at least for the business owners and the people who like residual income, but for the people who are just here for a sales career, you just want to make a nice 4 or 5 figure monthly income, a nice 6 figure income annually on a part-time basis without recruiting. That is the consultant position. It's $149 a month, right? Just like if you're a real estate agent or a mortgage broker or somebody like that, just some fees getting started and some fees to make sure you stay supported, just like any other endeavor out there. Okay. Now, when it comes to the business builders, right? These business builders, guys, they get exactly what the consultants get, but they have opportunities to get the residual income. Plus, because they are a business builder, there are certain things and perks and benefits that come with them being a business builder. And I'll talk about the residual income plus the benefits. Earlier, I spoke on the Smart Money Club membership, guys. And when we talk about things that people have that are extremely valuable, eh, this membership is probably one of the most valuable things out there on the market. Okay. When you look at all those high ticket sales companies I told you that were out there scamming people. They're basically taking the same information they got off YouTube and Instagram, and they repurpose it. Now they're selling it for $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 weekends. So you can learn all of the stuff you can get for $200, $300. We don't do all that, guys. As a matter of fact, we're giving you everything that these guys are selling, and we're giving it to you, as an inclusive to your membership. It's nothing extra. It comes with it, right? We want you to make a ton of money, but we want you to be able to be smart enough to keep it, sustain it, scale it, diversify with it, build legacies with it, and even partner with us in it. There are things that me and some of my top leaders are planning on doing when we get to a certain amount of money. I'm going to show you on one of the next slides. But we have goals of opening up solar farms that we're going to invest in together. We have goals of opening up apartment complexes and just storage units, self-storage units, and so we can have blocks of properties and doors that we can leave to our families, right? And so we want to make sure that you are fortified, with a high economic IQ when the time is right. You don't wait till you get the money to find out what to do with it. Okay. The next thing that you're going to benefit from that comes with your business builder membership, guys, is just having a great time shopping, eating, and traveling, right? For all my foodies out there, guys, 50,000 restaurants, and I personally lost it when I saw a steakhouse that I actually go to on a regular basis, not just here in Houston, but in different states is a popular steakhouse. I go to that steakhouse and they're giving you 15 to 20% off of your meal. Couldn't do it. I said that that's the only thing I ever use out of it. It's paying for itself, right? Retailers, guys, if you like to shop, you like to do kids activities, family activities, movies, and bouncing rooms and things like that, 15 to 30% discounts, right? As a matter of fact, I think it was Brenda Naba who said that basically there's a movie theater that they go to, her and her kids go to all the time, guys, and they get discounts on it 100% of the time, 30% off the tickets. So that's huge. Then you have travelers, people who like to travel. Myself personally, I've been on several vacations with this, and I've also seen vacations where I would have saved money on vacations that I already purchased before I even became a part of this program. And so just notice this is included as well. You don't get any of this stuff with the consultant, The other thing you don't get as I close out is the residual income. Okay. And so in order for you to have true security, in order for you to have, a moment where you can wake up and, be happy about where you are financially with no worries, knowing that things are taken care of, is because you have passive residual income that's coming in, and it's not just stagnant, it's scaling, it's growing. Okay. This is where you actually become, people like the Jeff Bezoses of the world who, when you look at Amazon, that Amazon Prime subscription, guys, he has over 200 million Amazon Prime subscriptions. The CEO of Netflix has over 260 Netflix subscriptions. The CEO of Spotify has over 239 million subscriptions. HBO, 100 million, right? And so I can go on and on and on. And when you look at the new wealth right now and the new security is being created by subscriptions. And so when you are a business builder and you do have your membership, guys, you now, and you're building a sales force, the larger your sales force gets, the more residual income you get. And also, it's not just about you and your sales force. You actually inherit, people to your sales force based on who you do business with. And so your resources and theirs. But as you can see, you can make anywhere from $500 to $250,000 a month in just this one way we get paid. And so a lot of my high level, big thinking business people who understand leverage, they love this, and they use this part of the compensation plan to justify them doing business with us. Okay. And so that's huge. So think about one day, like a builder 4,000. Think about being a builder 4,000, guys, and your mortgage is $2,500 a month, and your car note is $500 a month. Your husband's car note is $500 a month. So you got basically $3,500 to $4,000 worth of bills right there. And you wake up every month making $4,000 a month just on this without doing anything, but it's coming every month like clockwork. You wake up a little different, right? You go to work a little different, right? So, matter of fact, when you're at $8,000 a month, $15,000 a month, and you still have a job, you're only there because you love it, right? You're only there because you love it. It's not because of the benefit. Rich people don't need benefits. They pay for their own, right? But you become a person who they can't fire. You can't fire a person who's okay with quitting, right? And so if you're making that money, you're moving different, and people tend to treat you different. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this thing up, put a button on it, and turn you back over to your days. But my own personal opinion and my own personal suggestion to you would be this weekend. And some of you guys have plans for today to spend more than $200 today. I would take $200, set it to the side, go ahead and get yourself positioned in this company, take full advantage of everything that we have to offer. We are going to do a private personal game plan with you to show you not how to get that money back. That's simple. We're going to show you how to go out there and blueprint your income. Okay. And you can actually choose to focus on any or all of these verticals that we have in our ecosystem, from solar to water to security, and also to the memberships. So with that, get back with the person that invited you, and one, tell them thank you because they did not have to share this with you, whether you get started or not. Two, go ahead and get yourself positioned. So we'll see you guys at the top. We'll see you guys at the bank, and we'll see you guys at the beach. And for those of you who want to really go ahead and take this thing to the next level, get back with the person and ask them where you can now invite people to the next presentation once you get yourself positioned. Have a great day.